In the heart of the Mediterranean lies Crete, the cradle of Europe's first civilization. Long before Greece or Rome, the Minoans flourished here, building palaces, writing in mysterious scripts, and sailing across ancient seas. But who were these people and where did they come from? For centuries, scholars argued, were they native to the Aegean or migrants from distant lands in the east? Now, cutting-edge genetic research has finally answered the question, revealing a story as complex as the island's own labyrinth. Join us on a journey through 9,000 years of Cretan history, from Neolithic settlers to modern islanders. Crete, the largest of the Greek islands, lies like a bridge between Europe, Asia, and Africa, a true crossroads of civilizations. Its rugged mountains, fertile valleys, and deep natural harbors made it both a fortress and a gateway. Around 7000 BCE, the first Neolithic farmers arrived from Anatolia, bringing the seeds of agriculture, pottery, and settled life. Over millennia, they adapted to the island's varied landscapes, creating small, resilient communities that laid the foundation for something extraordinary. By the 3rd millennium BCE, Crete entered its Bronze Age bloom, the age of the Minoans. From grand palaces at Knossos, Malea, and Phaistos to vast trade networks reaching Egypt, the Levant, and the Cyclades, Minoan Crete became the beating heart of the eastern Mediterranean. Their frescoes depicted a world of color, motion, and worship, bull-leaping rituals, ocean scenes, and powerful goddesses. Yet geography shaped more than culture, it shaped genetics. Crete's mountains shielded its people from invasions, allowing ancient lineages to persist, while its ports connected them to distant lands, introducing subtle new influences. This duality, isolation, and exchange made the island a unique genetic laboratory. As archaeologists uncover the ruins of Minoan palaces and DNA scientists extract ancient genomes from forgotten graves, one truth emerges. Crete was never a closed world. It was a meeting place, a land where the first Europeans, ancient Anatolians, and seafarers from the east mingled, leaving behind the enduring legacy of one of humanity's earliest and most sophisticated civilizations. For over a century, the origins of the Minoans, Europe's first advanced civilization, remained one of archaeology's great mysteries. Some scholars proposed African roots, others pointed to the Near East. But modern genetics has finally given us a definitive answer. Groundbreaking studies published in Nature, Lazaridis et al., 2017, and Science, 2021, analyzed DNA from ancient Minoan and Mycenaean burials across Crete and mainland Greece. The results were stunning. Both peoples descended primarily from Neolithic Aegean farmers, not outsiders. Roughly 75 to 80% of their ancestry came from Anatolian Neolithic agriculturalists, who spread farming into Europe nearly 9,000 years ago. The remaining portion derived from local Mesolithic hunter-gatherers and a subtle eastern gene flow, likely from the Caucasus or ancient Iran. The Mycenaeans, who rose after the Minoans, shared almost identical ancestry but carried an extra 10% of steppe-related DNA, a marker of Indo-European migrations that never fully reached Crete. This genetic distinction explains why the Mycenaean world on the mainland adopted Indo-European languages, while Minoan Crete retained its pre-Greek, mysterious tongue, Linear A. These findings overturned decades of speculation. The Minoans were not migrants from Egypt or Mesopotamia, but the descendants of Europe's first farmers, shaped by millennia of local evolution. In genetic terms, they represent the oldest continuous farming lineage in Europe, a population that innovated in isolation, yet influenced every civilization that followed in the Aegean. Modern DNA research has revealed something extraordinary. The people of Crete today still carry the genes of their Minoan ancestors. Studies by Harvard University, the Max Planck Institute, and the University of Crete, 2020 to 2023, demonstrate that modern Cretans share direct genetic continuity with Bronze Age populations from the island. Their ancestry composition mirrors ancient Minoans almost perfectly. Around 70 to 80% Anatolian farmer DNA, 10 to 15% Caucasus/Iran-related influence, and a small 5 to 10% of steppe admixture introduced later via mainland contact. This balance sets them apart from other Greeks, who generally show a stronger northern and Balkan genetic signature. At the Y chromosome level, Cretans remain dominated by haplogroups J2, G2A, and EM78, all typical of Neolithic and Bronze Age Aegean populations. Their mitochondrial DNA, tracing maternal lines, shows a remarkable 9,000-year continuity, one of the longest unbroken genetic lineages in Europe. Crete's geographical isolation played a crucial role. While invasions swept across the mainland, from Dorians to Slavs, the island's rugged mountains and independent communities preserved ancient bloodlines. Even under Venetian and Ottoman rule, genetic mixing remained limited. In short, the modern Cretan genome is a living time capsule, a window into the genetic landscape of early Europe. Beneath their modern identity beats the same ancestral rhythm that once powered the palaces of Knossos and Phaistos, linking today's islanders directly to the first Europeans who called the Aegean home. Crete's long history reads like a catalogue of empires. Egyptians, Phoenicians, Dorians, Romans, Arabs, Venetians, Ottomans. Each left their mark on its art, architecture, and language. Yet beneath those layers, genetics tells a simpler story. The people themselves largely stayed the same. DNA evidence reveals that while invaders and traders came and went, their genetic imprint on the island remained faint. Cultural and technological exchange flourished, but biologically, Crete's ancient population endured. The continuity of the island's core ancestry, from Neolithic settlers to modern Cretans, demonstrates how culture changed faster than genes. Myths mirror this deep memory of blending and endurance. Zeus, the king of the gods, was said to be born on Crete, a divine symbol of renewal. The myth of Europa, carried to Crete by Zeus in the form of a bull, can be seen as a poetic echo of ancient migrations from the east that helped shape the island's identity. Even the Dorian invasion around 1100 BCE, once thought to have transformed Greek populations, left only a minor genetic footprint on Crete. Instead, local communities absorbed newcomers, integrating them into existing social and genetic networks. This deep resilience forged Crete's unique identity, neither purely Greek nor entirely Eastern, but a bridge between worlds. Across millennia, its people maintained their ancestral roots while absorbing influences from every shore of the Mediterranean. Today, the Cretans stand as living heirs to the first Europeans, their DNA a mosaic of history, myth, and unbroken survival. Modern population genetic maps show Cretans forming a distinct cluster, set apart from both mainland Greeks and other Mediterranean peoples. Their DNA sits astonishingly close to that of ancient Aegeans, confirming a deep continuity rarely seen elsewhere in Europe. This distinctiveness arises from genetic drift, the result of millennia of semi-isolation on the island. Crete's mountainous interior fostered small, stable communities, limiting outside gene flow while amplifying ancestral traits. As a result, the Cretan genome preserves variants long lost elsewhere in the Mediterranean. Scientists have also found unique disease resistance and metabolic adaptations among Cretans, genes tied to cardiovascular health and longevity, likely shaped by the island's traditional diet and rugged environment. These same adaptations mirror those of early agrarian populations that thrived on grains, olives, and fish rather than pastoral diets. Cretans today thus stand as living relics of Europe's first farming revolution, their DNA tracing back to the very dawn of agriculture and settlement. More than any other European group, they remain genetically tied to the Neolithic pioneers who laid the foundations of Western civilization. Crete's identity isn't just genetic, it's cultural, carrying echoes of its ancient past in daily life. From the Minoan reverence for nature to the modern Cretan diet, music, and rituals, a deep thread of continuity connects present to past. The island's traditional songs and dances, often invoking themes of fertility, the sea, and mountains, resemble motifs found in Bronze Age art. Even elements of the Cretan dialect contain pre-Hellenic linguistic remnants, linguistic fossils from the time before Greek arrived. Genetic studies now confirm what archaeology and folklore long suggested. The people of Crete have endured in place, their biological and cultural lineage stretching back nearly 9,000 years. The Minoans didn't disappear. They evolved, blending ancient traditions with new influences while keeping their ancestral core intact. In every Cretan village and mountain valley, beneath modern faces, lives the unbroken legacy of Neolithic farmers and Bronze Age seafarers, the first Europeans to shape a complex society. Crete's DNA reveals one of humanity's most extraordinary stories of continuity. From the first Neolithic settlers who crossed the Aegean to the Minoan kings of Knossos and the islanders of today, a single genetic thread runs unbroken. Modern science proves that the Minoans never vanished. Their descendants walk the same valleys, speak new tongues, and honor ancient traditions. The island stands as a genetic time capsule, preserving the blueprint of Europe's earliest civilization. Crete bridges continents and epochs. Europe, Asia, and Africa meet in its blood, and in the Cretan genome, we glimpse the enduring spirit of the first Europeans. Builders, sailors, and dreamers whose legacy still beats within the heart of the Mediterranean.